All right, my friends, this is video one. It will be 100 times better down the road. But this is my first one. Say hi to my cat. Hey. Okay. Listen, I've struggled with a mental illness my whole life. Technically, I was diagnosed like 16 years ago when I was 38. And I have, for the most part, done what the doctor said for all these years. Taking my meds and whatnot. And I sit here today very frustrated and very angry in a way, intellectually angry, that I'm really no better off. I am no better off. And I tried to do everything that I could over the years to, get better, to figure this out. And within the world of mental health, you can, if you're somebody that is so inclined, there's peer counseling. I went through, some courses where you can become a peer recovery specialist, which can be great. If any of you know any, definitely, grab them, hang on to them. They're good. They're good people to work with. Because they're there doing what I'm going to do in this video series is help you. Now, I reached an end point in my life. I had, back on February 12th, I got arrested. And it almost felt like the final straw in my life. There's just only so much that you can put up with. And, but I'll tell you, I went to jail that night for 24 hours. And my son prayed for me. And my daughter prayed for me. And out of those prayers, like the next day, on the 13th, my daughter brought this video to me. Not this video, but a video, which I'll share eventually, that had this potential solution that I had never been offered before and never been talked. I begged doctors and begged doctors and begged doctors, please help me figure. I don't want to take meds my whole life. Like, there's got to be a better way. And then I went through, peer recovery specialist training, and you learn things about behavior management. There's RAP program, which is the Wellness Recovery Action Plan, which is a great plan. They're seeking safety. There's different programs out there you can learn about that can help you. It's behavior management. But I wanted more. I wanted rid of this. This, to me, has been a curse in my life. I sit here at 53 years old, and I have a wrecked marriage. I have one child right now that won't talk to me. I love her to death, but there's trauma there, I guess, and I don't know what exactly, so I don't know how to help her. But she won't talk to me, so I just pray for that time to change. I've got a criminal record. I've lost friends, and I'm done. I am done with the BS. And I've listened to the doctors, and I've done my best to go through those programs, like I talked about briefly. And I'm just here to tell you that the podcast that my daughter brought to me back on February 13th, talked about a way, potentially, that those of us that struggle with a mental illness can potentially put it into remission. And it took me a few days. I'm sure any of you that struggle with mental illness, the curse of it, know that hope unsubstantiated is very painful. But I listened to it for a few days, and I started pulling up some other videos and doing a little research. Some people like to call it deep diving. I'm not a big fan of that term, but research, and looking up other doctors that are into this. So, long story short, I am only about 8 weeks into this, and I've had some successes. Now, they're not huge. They're small, okay? But enough that I am ready to really expose the way this is going to affect me, for two main reasons. One, I know that a lot of us that struggle have at this point really probably lost hope in real recovery, like truly getting better. Managing it is one thing, and we call that recovery, and I don't want to talk down about that. Like, I think there's a lot of that is going to be helpful right now with me in here and doing this. But I wanted you to come along on the journey. I thought it would be worth it for you to see how the changes happen. And I'm already 8 weeks into it. It's a diet. You don't have to not eat food. It is a diet. It's the ketogenic diet. And go ahead and do your own research. You will find that the ketogenic diet has been used to cure many people of mental illness. I've lost weight, to be sure, but I could care less about that. In fact, if I could get rid of, my challenge, mental health challenge, and gain weight, I'd be okay with that. But it's a side benefit, which is fine. It's cool, I'm glad I lost some weight. Whatever. I've had some successes with reduction in insulin, so far with the diet, because I'm also diabetic. So anyway, why am I doing this? Because number one, I know it's going to be hard for a lot of people to really look at a lot of studies and go, oh, okay, sure, whatever, because that's what I did. When I first looked at this, it was hard. And I thought, you know what? You want to watch me and go through this process? I'll expose me in this series. And it might take a couple years. It might take a couple more months. I don't know yet. But I am absolutely 100% gonna do this. For 20 years, my mental illness has kicked the shit out of me. It has just brought me down too many notches in life. And quite frankly, I'm at a place where I'm ready to kick the shit out of it. I'm just ready to beat the ever-living hell out of mental illness. I'm going to pound it into the earth. And it's like how I feel with spiders, right? You can't step on a spider once. You got to step on it 20 times, right? Like you want to make sure that it's dead. That's how I feel about this. I want to make sure this is dead. And I understand that, there's a lot that I've researched that I can't dive into here, but I will over time. It's just, you'll get bored with me. And I don't want you to get bored, because this has turned out to be what I am learning is exciting to know that it's possible. It's possible. It's absolutely 100% possible to get rid of this. Now, every person's different. Everyone's got different DNA and all those caveats. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just here to tell you that there's a couple things I believe in life. And one of them is prayer. So I am not here to preach to you, but you've got to understand, if you're going to understand me and this process, then it's part of who I am. All right. There's a There's a verse I want to read to you because this tied really like tightly right in with what I told you about my daughter and my son. The night I was in jail, my son prayed for me, and my daughter did too. And she brought this to me the next day. The course, it was a podcast that talked about it, and I had to go from there to learn about what to do. But this is what I want you to hear. It is Mark 1:24, and it says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Well, I believe it. Okay, I believe it because I didn't ask for this actually, but I was asking. My children were. Well, I mean, I was too when I was laying in jail, but I've been looking for a solution forever, and most people say, "Well, Eric, you hide it really well." Well, I might be able to hide, my challenges really well, but I still have them, and I hate them, and it's caused me a lot of pain in life, and I know it causes everyone a lot of pain in life, and quite frankly, I also know that when hope is kind of weak, you just don't fight for it. And I am here to tell you that there are plenty of case studies of people over the years, over the last 20 some years, that have, I want to say cured, put into remission their mental illnesses. Everything from bipolar disorders to schizophrenia disorder to, depressions and anxiety to OCD. Like it's a whole everything. With different cases have been documented. I want to try to steer clear, at least initially, about what my unique diagnosis is, because that's not what's important. I have a diagnosis. Okay, I have challenges. I take medication. I have been admitted to a psych hospital 3 times. I didn't go willingly. They had to handcuff me and drag me. um, but I'm here to tell you it's for real, and this will, I will share some of that down the road. You have to earn that, in my opinion, because the first couple of videos as we go through, I know are going to be a lot of. It's gonna there. You know what? I'm okay with people just wanting to be gossipy, because ultimately, if I can put together enough, if I can share enough that it helps somebody, honestly, that is my goal. That's my goal. So this is my intro, okay? My name's Eric. I'm 53 years old. I have a diagnosis, and it sucks. I've had it for a long time. My kids have suffered for it, and my marriage has suffered for it. I've lost friends, and it absolutely sucks. So I'm ready to kick it to the curb. So I'm here to let you know. Stay tuned. I don't really know how YouTube works, but you're watching it, so we're halfway there. It'll get better. I'll have things to share as I learn them. I will, as I figure out how to do this for you guys, good videos that I've, links, I'll try and include all those. The biggest thing I want you guys to be able to do is watch me go from, well, I'm 8 weeks in, but from where I am today to where I'm going to one day tell you it's in remission. I will tell you that. I guarantee you I will tell you that, because I will absolutely not fail at this. I will not fail. I don't care what it takes. If I had to eat tofu and sleep in an ice bath and fly to Siberia, I would figure that I would do it. If that would get rid of it for me. I promise you, I will not fail. I may take some twists and turns. I may have to adjust. But you'll be there with me. Because from this point forward, I will document my process on this so that you can You can watch somebody get better. And I'll tell you when I have some slips. So we'll get into some stuff down the road. I wish you guys the best. And I promise you, on this journey, we're about to make a lot of people in the peer community healthier. So with that, have an awesome evening, and you'll see me soon when I figure out how to turn it off.